Hello everybody, welcome back to Wappelville. Welcome back to the Misty Mountains. At least that's kind of what we're working on here. Yes, more eagles. This is the one we did last night. I want to do a little different color scheme on this. As you can see, the nest is a little bit taller. The nests are from 3D printed from Asgard Rising. The birdies are from the Printing Goes Ever On. I think we'll stick with the same deal on the eggs there, right, Armored Wolf? Hey there, Rich. Nice to see you. So, Rich on Rubles, welcome back. I hope that you are also having a blast. So, you will. I was thinking of doing almost like a bald eagle type thing. Hey there, Landrast. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. We're gonna do the dry brushy stuff to start out with, like always. So, yeah, Landrast, that curio cabinet thing, it's really hard to know really which parts are which, and they organized them in all these different folders in a really weird way. So it's kind of hard. You look at them, you think, okay, this should be in this folder, and it ends up in a whole different folder. You think, what the heck is it doing in there? So we'll see. I'll try and see if I can do some more stuff with the iPad tomorrow. See if I can maybe try to get something set up with the miniatures and try to and get Procreate on it. That's the other thing, is I got to get Procreate on there. The pressure sensitive stylus. Well, that's something that really makes it far more usable. You can get, say, an off-brand one for about $15 or so, as little as 11, and according to the feedback, they work reasonably well. But the one thing you're not going to get is that all-important pressure-sensitive stuff. So that's kind of a real important thing there to have that. So, Rich, great to see you here. I hope that your Saturday was a good one. So, Armored Wolf, looks like Miami really came out really on top there, because I mean they won their game, but then Louisville goes out and beats Clemson. So things are looking good. It was a kind of a rough day in the top 20 for sure for a lot of teams. Now some of it was there were teams knocking each other off because they were both in the. Obviously, you had Ohio State, Penn State, but feel bad for Ryan because that was definitely a game that, well, Iowa State probably should have won, and they lost that. So I think 2 unbeaten teams go down today. Kentucky, I thought they had a chance to take out Tennessee. South Carolina, well, they worked over A&M, especially in that second half. Now, Armored Wolf, I think if it were a different era, like if it was the era where Jimmy Johnson was the coach and that sort of stuff, now I think that's where you do pile on there, because you have to beat guys by a bazillion points in those eras. I think now it's just it's just going to be who doesn't have 5 losses or something like that. Yeah, I thought that Army was playing Air Force today. That's well. Let me look and see there. Well, no, it's not showing me that score. Yeah, Army played Air Force today. So I don't know. Actually, I don't think Navy played today. Right? Yeah, because Army played Air Force today. Well, although Navy still did lose, but let's see. I think they might actually still meet in a conference game before the Army-Navy game. So yeah, definitely. Well, we're post a lot of eras now in this new playoff arena. Yeah, there's a lot of things that are going to be very different here. And on top of that, you've got it's a minefield out there for ranked teams. Armored Wolf, is it just me, or have we never had this many ranked teams getting beat? And I don't mean like, number 24 team or number 25. I mean teams in the top 15 on a regular basis getting wiped out every single week. At least that's kind of how it seems to me. More, I'm a fast mat white here. Put that on him. Yeah, this one's going to be a little bit challenging to keep on screen here. Get a little bit of the lighter stuff on the underside there. Now, of course, you didn't have the portal in previous years. So those unranked teams, what the thing I'm seeing now, I mean, it's not like this wasn't the case before, but it does seem like depth is a thing where, like Kentucky, I mean, they already had a lot of injuries before the game. There was plenty of injuries before they ever stepped in the stadium, and then they had a bunch more, and that was probably the difference in that game. Was that the third stringer on Kentucky is not going to be the same as a third stringer on Tennessee. Okay, we're trying to work in some of our later stuff here before we start doing all the glazy type things. Okay, we're not going to do a whole bunch on this tree over here because, like before, we want to get our snow on here. So Armored Wolf, I did get the powder, the marble dust, and I got essentially the, what would you say, the mixed version of that. So I have what basically they called it. Was it plaster? Let me look at this here. Let me see what we had. Okay, that's not what we're looking for. That's better. Let's look at this. And let's look at this. Oh, the Liquitex medium. That's it. So a couple of things I was figuring, okay, if I have that, we have something to compare. The other thing was Armored Wolf. I was thinking if I could chuck more marble dust into that, it might make it even thicker. Now, it's a small container. Whatever the smallest one was, an 8-ounce bottle or something. Yeah, I pretty much got the smallest one I could find. And my hope is that I'll be able to use that for sculpting a few things, especially, say, on our trees and for some real serious gap filling. I mean, not exactly, say, green stuff level gap filling, but okay, there we go. So now we've got some light there on the birdie. I'm going to get a smaller filbert now. Armored Wolf, there was, a couple of things that even, I don't know, was it where you want to make something more like concrete? I thought maybe that could work. And then again, where you have to maybe do things that are supposed to look like fur. Could be helpful there. There's my ice blue. Just going to play with some of this down here on the eggs. We'll hit these just the way we did with that, and Dancer in Blue glaze. That's what we used on these. So I got the blick powdered marble dust, which means that well, I'm going to just construct some of those trees and get them to the point where I still think I want to add some of the Daz air dried clay. Oh yeah, speaking of which, Armored Wolf, I was also starting to wonder, could this, well, let's see, I think we could use it as stucco as well. We could probably use it like that. Let me lighten this up a little more up here. Again, before we start getting to some of our glazy stuff there. So I guess we'll get to the resin printers after the stream. I was really hoping to get to those guys before the stream and have a good 6-7 hours worth of printing with those, but it'll just have to be the overnight hours. Actually, this was filled in with the plastic putty, these two things, and I mean, for the 2 seconds that it took to do that, it looks enough like, you know, like a little knot at the end of it where the branch has been sawed up instead of this open stuff here. So yeah, I think this could open up definitely some new possibilities. Yeah, Armored Wolf, those really look fantastic. I mean, it looks like something that you want to see more of. And you can, I mean, it really does show off the miniatures. Hey, look at this. We have Isidore celebrating the that stream-iversary. Hey there, Isidore. Thank you so much for that raid. And since it is stream-iversary time for Isidore, I know we did this last night. We'll do another one here. This is a real quick hype train for Isidore. All aboard the hype train. Everybody please give Isidore a follow. Look out. There it is. All aboard the hype train. There you go. So Isidore, we're painting another one of our birdies here. You saw this one last night. We're doing a little different coloration on this. We're doing different color schemes on all of the birdies. You can see already, very different color scheme right there. The nests are from Asgard Rising and the birds. Well, those are from The Printing Goes Ever On. And again, everybody please give Isidore a follow. And of course, Isidore, if you want to share something in the chat, as always, please go ahead and do that. We're about to start adding our darker glazy stuff here. Oh, by the way, 13 minutes ago, this had no paint on it. Yeah. This is already just 13 minutes in, and we're going to start doing some of the darker glaze stuff here, I think, on the eagle itself. Let me try. Where's my Van Dyke Brown? There it is. We're going to try and get some of that out here. So thanks again, Isidore. Appreciate that raid. So yes, that was the first birdie that we painted last night. Here's some of the other ones. Got different type of color scheme there. And this also is from The Printing Goes Ever On. Of course, our last stream before that was Tomb Kings. And I'm actually going to be doing a basing video on Tomb Kings. I might even be doing that tomorrow. Just mostly, well, I have to base a ton of stuff. And I might as well film a basing video while I'm doing that. So again, everybody please give Isidore a follow. Well, that's way more than we wanted there. I'm going to get me some. There we go. We're going to get some of our. A little bit more of the thinner into that. And the idea is here, I wanted this to mix a little bit. so that we got sort of a more of a grayish tone down into the recesses there. Not as much of the brown. Also trying to get a little bit more of the mid-tone in the recesses as opposed to super shadow. So that kind of, that's sort of what I was looking for there. So again, everybody please give Isidore a follow. And Isidore, I'm sure that, I think that was about a 7-hour stream, wasn't it, Isidore? I'm sure you were able to get a whole bunch of nifty stuff done too. And of course, so 9 minis named on stream. And of course, Isidore, I know you're probably wiped out after that stream. So I think the last thing you're probably wanting to do is head over to the photo booth to do some pictures or whatever. But, you know, if you want to do that, please go ahead. Now look at what this is doing. See how we're just touching that to the miniature there. See how that really receives. I'm going to try zooming in on this baby here. Like that. See if that makes it a little easier maybe. Hopefully it's a bit easier to see. This is a bit of a mix of the Van Dyke Brown and the little bit of the asphalt, and not a ton, a little bit. So yeah, land dressed. It's weird. The auto orient. It made some really weird choices on the latest Easterling buildings that was printed, and it worked out super well. Actually, way better on all fronts than when you just lay them on the build plate there. But with this this curio cabinet thing, yeah, the way it chose to lay these out, it didn't like it. Now I'm also going to be getting my old build plate glue, because I think that the bamboo glue sticks are garbage. Unfortunately, I had to get a bunch of them when I bought that build plate. I don't know. I think we're just gonna only keep those around for emergencies, or maybe use both sticks. Because yeah, not super happy with the glue sticks from bamboo. It's weird. Bamboo does good stuff and some stuff that's not so great. So yeah, Armored Wood, of course, is I'm telling Armored, well, maybe you should get that P1. But Armored Wolf, I'm pretty sure that Hank, right, they have a couple of those. And I think they use those like all the time. Hey there, Ryan. Everybody please check out that Discord link that Isidore just shared. And please give Isidore a follow if you could. Again, Isidore just had the stream anniversary there. So Ryan, sorry about that. I really thought, even without the 2-point conversion, it would have been fun to see overtime. See, Armor Wolf, yeah, I really wish I could have gotten that P1. It's just, well, that other thing proved so much more. The need was greater when it came to the graphics and stuff. Speaking of which, so Ryan, if you want to share your stuff in the chat there. Your oil painted miniatures, that'd be fantastic too. And we'll do this here. Now Hank was asking if I wanted to paint more Marvel Crisis Protocol terrain. I don't know if it's the plastic Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff or is it stuff that they've been printing out. I don't know if I think that's mostly stuff that they've been getting from whatchamacallit, Asmodee or whatever. So again, everybody please check out the links there that Isidore posted, and Ryan also posted the Instagram link. Again, those are tremendous oil painted miniatures. Well, Isidore, I hope that you get a nice chance to have some extended painting sessions there. Yeah, I thought so, Armored Wolf. It just seems like, yeah, it's all full on, all Asmodee all the time. So again, everybody, please be like Isidore and check out again, those tremendous miniatures that Ryan just posted. Well, Ryan, there's a whole bunch of other teams that lost too. So Clemson loses. Well, Penn State loses. There's just while it's not ideal, right? There's still some games left, and there's going to be some cannibalizing, I think, that happens. And ironically, Ryan, I think what they're saying, kind of the early, what would you say, analysis of the whole 12-team playoff is that actually being number 5 is not so bad. I mean, while being in the top 4 is obviously going to get you a bye, which is, well, you automatically win that. I think 5, 6, and 7, or no, 5 through 8 are actually hosting a playoff game. Yeah, Armored Wolf, the MCP stuff, it's kind of, I guess because I have no connection to it at all. It's not really my favorite, I gotta say. I mean, it's interesting, but it means absolutely nothing to me. So it's a little bit difficult. I mean, even, any kind of 40K terrain, I would still have connection to that. Yeah, Armored Wolf, I think, I'm not sure, have I painted anything else aside, terrain-wise, for MCP besides, what is that stuff? I don't even know what the heck it was. It was the stuff that I painted for Adepticon this year. No idea what it was, don't even care. I couldn't even tell you. I think it was like whatever it was from Black Panther, I guess. Did a whole bunch of it. Oh, the Asgardian, okay. It's kind of funny, Armored Wolf, because I'm painting this Asgard Rising piece here, and so that's why I think, well, it couldn't be Asgard. I just got Asgard on the brain because that's what I'm painting. Let me do this. A little bit darker down here. So Ryan, I don't know if you heard, I've got both the marble dust and the Liquitex medium coming this way, so that we can conduct a range of experiments. We can see, can we mix our own? What does what would you say, the standard mix, how does that behave? And then can I add the marble dust to the standard mix to make it even thicker? Hey there, Horns fan. So Horns fan, it was pretty crazy out there today. It was pretty crazy. I thought I sure thought that Tennessee was going down, but I think you're playing Tennessee next week, right, Horns fan? Or maybe no, you're not playing. Or are you playing Tennessee next week? I already forgotten. I had just seen it about 5 minutes ago. Come on. Actually, that Michigan-Indiana game, that's going to be far more important than the average Michigan-Indiana game. Okay. Well, Horns fan, I mean, I thought Florida was actually going to be able to beat Georgia there. But now they've got a whole bunch of injuries. I mean, as in, seemed like about a quarter of the team suffered some kind of an injury. Thanks, Horns fan. Appreciate that. Thanks, Horns fan. Hey there, Hook. Nice to see you again. So yeah, Horns fan, 2 more undefeateds go down. Now again, this was last night's birdie. We'll do the same treatment on the eggs there. But you can see we already have a much different flavor here, right? I wanted this one to have more of a reddish flavor. We got the white all the way down there. Which is it? Where's our golden retriever here? There he is. So that's this also is from the Printing Goes Ever On. So Hook, great to see you, and again, thanks for joining us here. I'm gonna switch Ola here to a different one of these craft brushes here. And of course, well, there's Bama LSU, which is pretty much an eliminate. Well, I don't know, maybe LSU might be eliminated already. However, that Texas A&M destruction there by South Carolina kind of changes the picture, doesn't it, Horns fan? All of a sudden, things are looking a little bit different. They looked very, very ordinary today. Horns fan, I don't know if I was just telling Ryan that all of the latest chatter is that you want to be, well, obviously, top 4 is kind of where you want to be. You get that bye. But if you were that number 5 team, not only do you get to host a playoff game, but you avoid Georgia, I think. It's something along those lines. So basically, you want to be that next best team that didn't win a conference. Or, well, I don't know. Because, well, I guess because there's no Pac-10 anymore, right? We don't have a Power 5. So I was thinking, like, what happened to Power 5? Hey there, Mr. Clean. How you doing? So yeah, well, Mr. Clean, obviously we're deep into our coverage of the APCC, the Atlantic Pacific Central Conference. 10,000 teams, no academic standards. Everybody makes the playoffs. The portal is open all game long. As long as you got a uniform, you can switch sidelines whenever you want. Actually, you could switch in the middle of a play. Yeah, while the other team is substituting, you can literally change your jersey. And as long as there's only 10 guys on the field for the other side, you can just go play for them. Mr. Clean, boy, it's been a long, long time. Miss you guys. So, Mr. Clean, I don't know if you saw the Halloween cookies. I sent some pictures to Kimberly there. Well, Mr. Clean, it was a big game. Big game there in Happy Valley. Speaking of, well, let me see. It's going to be interesting what happens with Indiana. And if they beat Michigan, That sets up an interesting situation. And of course, Mr. Clean, if you got any Adepticon primer events happening for Song of Ice and Fire, just let the chat know. I'm going this way. We need more stuffs here. Are we going to use this? Yeah, whatever. Whatever. We'll just do that. Oh, well, that's where it all went, over there. All right. Like, what the heck? All right, what are we doing next over here? Is that... Well, that's already set. Yeah, look at that. It almost looks like it's dry there. Yeah, Mr. Clean, well, we're kind of in a Age of Sigmar situation here with MESBG. So yeah, basically everything I've been painting for the last, I don't know, 4.5 months or so has been eliminated from the game, like these. Basically all the stuff we painted in November has been wiped out. Of course, we painted this one on Halloween. This is from Titan Forge. We've done a whole bunch of chariots. Actually, I got more sneaky. I got like 9 of these. Between Titan Forge and this, it's like 11. Now, so yeah, Horns fan, all the Fell Beasts, or even the Nurgle one. So that's that's the Undying. He is also, again, all of the named ring wraiths have been eliminated, which means all the ring wraiths we painted this entire month no longer exist in the game, which is why we are calling it WSBG. So it's not MESBG anymore, it is now WSBG. So yeah, we did 2 of the Knight of Umbar, and well, now there are 0 Knights of Umbar. Horn said, I did one Witch King. I was going to do another one, but I wasn't able to get it prepped in time. So that's why we did the Tomb King Chariot, which was basically prepped and ready to go. Also, too, there wasn't quite the will to even look at any more named ring wraiths after... I got A&M'd. So Mr. Clean, I've got to actually... that's the other thing I wanted to start getting into, is prepping some more Song of Ice and Fire stuff. I was thinking about doing... what are they? The Greyjoys. I was just going to multi-base those so I could do a lot more water effects. So Horns fan, there's a new edition of MESBG coming out that we've been talking about because GW got the rights to the movies. And, well, yeah, they wiped out 100 profiles and miniatures from the game. They wiped out the Kandish army, the Far Harad army, most of the Harad army. They wiped out huge portions of the Mordor army. They wiped out the Dunlendings. So pretty much everything I've been working on is all, well, it's all gone. And that's just what they eliminated miniature-wise and profile-wise. That's not even counting rules. So this to me, this is just round 1 of the oh my goodness. Something tells me that yeah, they're gonna announce what they're gonna announce with the rules is gonna make people very sad. This was just what they're getting rid of. Hey there, Grand Oracle. So Grand Oracle, was there a lot of swim meets going on this weekend? So Mr. Clean, I was wondering with the Martells. I think I have a fair amount of the Martells. I don't know. Well, I haven't seen anything new since like the era of the Starfall Outriders, the initial Greyjoy release, and then some of the subsequent ones. So probably about the last year. No problem, Grand Oracle. No problem. So Grand Oracle, this was our birdie from last night. Yep, that was last night's birdie, and we're doing well, obviously more of a bald eagle theme here. Ah, that's good, Grand Oracle. Because there's some Lannisters. I just wanted to use those for a couple of videos. I gotta get those things prepped. I think some brigands. Yeah, I haven't seen hide nor hear of Song Ice and Fire stuff. Actually, we've been doing a fair amount of conquest. That's the other thing I'm going to try and get ready to go is the conquest. What are the Sorcerer Kings? Sorcerer Kings. So the birdies are from Printing Goes Ever On. These nests are from Asgard Rising. Also the eggs. Grand Oracle, this is what I'm going to try and get printing after the stream here. We're going to try and do print out these they're almost the same tree, but they got spider nests hung in them, spider webs. Now, of course, Mirkwood also got wiped out too. A whole bunch of spider stuff. Again, all of the stuff that I've either painted, have been painting, or was about to paint, all that stuff has been wiped away. Grand Oracle, you probably do. I didn't even realize I had those. I was looking, well, you know how it always goes. I was looking for something else, and then I went, wait, what are these? I think I probably dismissed them when I had them early on because I didn't have a printer that could do them. That is very likely that I just kind of saw those and thought, wow, that's neat. I can't print that. And then, well, sort of forgot about it. Thanks, Mr. Clean. Yeah, Mr. Clean, it's been a little while since we've had some Song of Ice and Fire stuff on the channel here. And of course, well, it is a cavalry channel. It is also a Song of Ice and Fire channel. Oh, Mr. Clean, jeez Louise. I don't think you've seen these at all. So for Kathy's birthday, we painted a Kathy miniature, but we also painted these Lord of the Rings gummy bear themed, or a gummy bear Lord of the Rings theme there. So there's there's Gumladriel, and that's Gumlum. But check this out, Mr. Clean. We went into AI and we generated all kinds of images. So we're gonna have to. I wish I knew how to do the digital sculpting because I would just sculpt these myself. But we got Sourgum, we have Gumdoff, we have Gumly, we have Treegum, and we have Legumlas. So Mr. Clean, all that I keep thinking when I see those is I keep thinking about the remember your Lorax? Oh gosh, what was it? It was the Lorax themed Fluffy Bunny tournament. Remember that? And all I keep thinking is the what was that? The trees that were pipe cleaners. And then remember the gummy bears that had the, oh gosh, what did they have for spears, like just toothpicks for spears? Now let me chuck this in here. And we're going to let that mix, remember? It's what we did on the other ones, and that worked out really well. So there's one of them. The truffle trees, a Candyland, now that's it. So Mr. Clean, for the basing, I wasn't quite sure what I should do for basing, but obviously folks suggested a Candyland theme for the basing, and that's all I kept thinking was your Fluffy Bunny army. Look at that. It's almost like the paws egg coloring right there. Yeah, Grand Oracle, I know that, well, I actually had intended on, like, say, Last Sword and Monster Mini Mayhem or Mini Monster Mayhem, whoever, whatever they are. I thought of cutting those out, but it was too late because I didn't realize what day it was. It's just it's been a little bit on the crazy side here of late. Okay, we got that dark in there. Teensy bit over the dark down here. Can you see? I know the tree is kind of in the way there. Let me maybe I won't keep throwing more of my glazy stuff there, but we're gonna start getting some stuff on the birdie there. I think as we let all of this glazy stuff settle. We are gonna be putting the snow on here, so snow is coming on this thing. Yep, we'll get the snow out there. And of course, well, we did another Kathy miniature, so we did this one and we did those two. Again, I was hoping to have maybe a couple of more sculpted. Ultimately, what I want to do is in October is have something like a KathyCon sort of thing, where we've got folks doing all kinds of stuff in Discord, playing RPG stuff, maybe playing other games, maybe folks playing some Diablo or Valheim via that same in Discord or something. I'll be doing some classes, maybe in Discord or Zoom classes or whatever. I'm going to darken this down some more with that kind of bluishness there. Let me do this. And then the other thing I wanted is for people to be able to get those STL files, print those out, and then we could have literally a Lord of the Rings gummy bear painting contest. Oh, geez. Thanks. I completely forgot about that, Mr. Clean. And it's funny because, well, I've been talking about it for weeks because they've already done the time switch in Europe. And obviously, Armored Wolf and I, we would like, set the clock back, I don't know, a week and a half. We wouldn't use that for sleeping. We would just use that for working. Hey there, Sectorix. How you doing? So Sectorix, it was a crazy day with printing. Also trying to get that iPad going since the phone has become basically worthless when it comes to images and photos and vids. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day because we're going to have to get that Procreate up on there and then also start learning that software. Yeah, Mr. Clean, I think I believe there's also too there's some European countries that have put that out of existence. At least I think so. And if I'm not sure which ones it is either. So Horns found that magical day, that wonderful day that Armored Wolf and I need so much. That's called Tuesday. So that is an additional day of the week that Armored Wolf and I can add at any time. So if you find all of a sudden it's like November 42nd or something like that, then Armored Wolf and I have, shall we say, we've called a few Tuesdays. If you're like, that calendar doesn't look right, that's because we have done quite a few Tuesdays. So Sectorix, I just checked like I do every day. I looked at my black matte PLA, and that's back up to 49. So we're not. I think just last week it was 42, or a week and a half ago. So I got it then, but now it's back up to 49. And I've been trying to print out the, oh gosh, what is it? The curio cabinet. That's proven to be challenging to print. It shouldn't be. It's really more, I think once I print out one of them, it'll be easier because then I'll know, like I was telling Landras today, I'll have a better idea of what the heck parts are which. Because right now you're just like, okay, what is top, bottom, left? What is middle, bottom, right? What is this? It's really hard to understand what it is they're talking about. So once you print the pieces, I think, and you get like a little familiarity with them. Also, too, I was telling Landrest, I'm hoping that I can just glue this stuff together and then avoid all of the stupid hardware parts. Because I swear you'll spend as much time printing out the hardware as you will the actual pieces. I haven't even messed around with finding potentially some plexiglass to put in there, say for a front screen. I won't be doing plexiglass shelves, that's for sure. That I now know. So I would only be using plexiglass, obviously, as a bit of a dust cover, for lack of a better term. So you can see, I wasn't sure if these were going to work well for a bald eagle type, but they seem to. Oh, by the way, this is 46 minutes. Yeah, just saying. It happens fast. So Mr. Clean, there's been quite the, well, I want to know what happened to the that Bears defensive back that was celebrating before and during the miracle touchdown play. I think if that, I mean, I don't know if they have kangaroo courts anymore in the NFL. There at least should have been a kangaroo court, if not other sanctioning. Sector X, we call that the 40-40 here. Yep, 40 years for 40 minutes. We call it the 40-40. You want to crank out something in 40 minutes, it only takes 40 years. And the good news is that it actually gets higher. You know, you do 50 years. You trim that down another 10 minutes. So every decade trims off 10 minutes from your painting time. Yeah, Mr. Clean, since I didn't get to see the game, that just popped up on, I think it was some random YouTube video or something like that. I just had all I could see was a little text block that mentioned the play-by-play in a very delayed way. So yeah, I had no idea what was going on. I didn't even have a radio call or anything like that. I was just looking at little blocks of text for the play-by-play. I think it was from NFL.com or something like that. Hey there, Aussie, how you doing? So happy Sunday there, Aussie. I hope that you're doing super well. So Aussie, it's been quite it's been a while since you've been here. Actually, oh, this is the thing. I put that shit back over here. This is the other thing. I'm going to try to get the IJN files tonight, and I'll try and at least print out. Again, I don't know if it's going to be Kiru Butai, or if we're going to go with some of the big boys, or if we're going to go with the battle carriers. Of course, we still got to do the British Underwater Navy. Yes, that lovely underwater navy. Those bad luck ships. Let's see, what is that? Barham, Royal Oak, Hood, Renown, Repulse. Boy, by the time we paint all those, we'll have to have a little terrain piece, and we'll just call it Iron Bottom Sound. Mr. Clean, I'm just visualizing me, trying to maybe do some mold lines or something like that, and a play like that. Well, actually, that whole last 5 minutes. Well, maybe the last 2 minutes. I probably would have ended up with a lot of carving tools stuck in my hand from the reactions. No. We'll do that with the orange there. Yeah, we'll do that with the orange. And of course, we are using the Battlecraft Supplies holders. Now again, this is one that I modified here. This is what it normally looks like. And again, here's our other birdie as well. Now you can see we've got our eggs looking a little bit more like that, but look at the difference in the color schemes there. So Ozzy, I hope that you're doing well. And boy, Ozzy, yeah, we've had so much fun painting these all during October. This is from Navarrete Studios. We actually did 11 race on fell beasts. We also did the Watcher in the water. We did a Balrog. We did the Cave Dragon. So there's your Watcher in the water. I will be doing a little follow-up water video on that. We painted a bunch of Gobos. Here's the Nurgle one that we did there. Lots of pustules for him. Look at that. And of course we. This is our latest Patreon video that we did. We started the painting process on all of our Skink Raptor riders. Yep. Okay, how are we going to get at this? He's back there, trust me. I think okay, now he can see it. That would almost be as riveting as our paint mixing. I mean, of course, that's everybody's favorite part of every single stream. When we stop painting, we get the thinner out, we put that in the container with a little bit of paint, and then we thin it down. That is that. I mean, these guys here, I mean, look at that. That is just riveting, right? When we stick a little bit of paint in there, some thinner, and we mix that. I mean, that's like what makes the stream. Well, Ozzy, I hope that you've still been able to at least do a little bit of painting there. Hopefully a little bit. So Mr. Clean, obviously, here on the Wappelville Sports Network, we've been covering Army and Navy because we wanted to see some Service Academy playoff time. It could have been an epic. Well, I mean, it's still going to be epic, right? Army-Navy game. I mean, it could have been super epic. You could have literally had a playoff spot on the line in addition to the Commander-in-Chief trophy. Well, Ozzy, now, hopefully those have been working out for you. I mean, obviously that's what we've been using here on the channel. I mean, I got a lot of that 53 minutes ago. Yep. So it only took 50 years of experience, right? Right, Sector X, to be able to do that. So that was Tuesday, right, Mr. Clean? That's when we get the initial, especially now with, well, Clemson loses. Well, and sorry, Ryan, if you're listening out there, Iowa State going down. Now, Mr. Clean, the question is, for me, Indiana. Now, it's a big if, but should Indiana win, and I don't know if they're in Ann Arbor or if it's in Hoosierville, but if they win that and go 9-0, that makes things very interesting. But yes, on the Wappelville Sports Network, we cover everything. We report the news before it is news. A little more than like, okay, now we're gonna. Oh, geez, it would have been handy if I had put my drop of thinner there over there. That is maybe another plop over there too. That is the fast matte colors, and if you get that little bit of thinner sitting on there, man, They go from being like really stiff, really hard to do anything with to, yeah, see like right there, a little bit hard to do anything, a little crumbly. Let me see if we can't get a little bit of orangey mid-tone in the eye. Then we'll go lighter. Yeah, Mr. Clean. Well, and of course, now commercial aside, I'm forgetting all about the ducks. I've completely forgotten about them. I don't even remember who it is they're going to be playing. Well, Army has North Texas, so they should be able to win. Should be able to win that game. Well, and of course, well, you still got BYU in that top 10. So, Arda Michael, I hope that you're doing fine, and of course, hopefully your game development is going well too. Oh, come on, come on, more of the. Well, not that much. There. That's the Payne's Gray. Oh, I was going to get the Payne's Gray from Gamlin Grand Oracle, but man, that was pricey. It's got to be at least a Series 2. It might be a Series 3. Said nobody ever. So, well, obviously, I mean, a Service Academy no matter what, but that would be, obviously, Navy wasn't terribly successful there. I'm kind of hoping that that game against Navy didn't sort of give the Golden Domers a little bit of a precursor, you know, to facing that type of an offense. So yeah, Grand Oracle, what I wanted to do was obviously that. And then, well, that, well, we'll put that way over here in the no bueno side. We put this in the super bueno. Gamlin was going to go here. Now, oh, you know what I should look at? I totally forgot. Maybe we'll see what the Richardson Payne's Gray, just price-wise. Just looking at the price there, see what happens. Now, again, we're starting to get the beak action going on here. A little bit of a bluish tint. Little bit of a bluish tint there. So Sectorix, I'll shoot you some messages about some of the interesting little observations, trying to print out that curio stuff. And just in general with the bamboos. Won't be able to get the P1 because the dineros that were supposed to purchase that, well, those went to the iPad because we needed that filming capacity. Hey, Revless. Boy, it's been a while. It's been a while. How you doing there, Revless? And again, Aussie, now if there's any, well, I know you haven't had a chance to work on much, but Aussie, if you wanted to share anything in the chat, same thing there, Arda Michael. You got some stuffs there that you want to share in the chat, go ahead, do that. Alrighty, well, okay, here, let me get some of this Indian yellow over here. The lighter is neat, but it can't be so peachy like that. That's good, Revless. Can we do this without completely... took out too much of the orange there. I'm just going to do some of that. Let's try this again here. I think that's the other thing. Yep, too much thinner worked its way in there. So we cut down on some of that. Now let me try this here. Again. Got it. So Mr. Clean, I wasn't sure if you guys had found a Taco Tuesday establishment like old times out there in Yorkville. Wasn't sure if Taco Tuesday is still a thing. Already. Feathers. Eventually, we will do a film noir. But yeah, that is actually the first time of... Wow, how many of these have I painted now? This is like the 5th one or whatever. That's the first time I've tried the bald eagle stuff. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. That actually works out pretty well there. So thanks Armored Wolf for posting a link to the Patreon page. I'm going to be trying to film multiple videos this week. This is Van Dyke Brown and Ice Blue, by the way. Let me see what this is going to do here. Wool Revless, I can't wait to see how that's going to play out. And I like the fact that it's 1/72nd Revless. I mean, not that it wouldn't be cool to see a HIMARS in, well, 1/48th would be my favorites. That's what I would love to see, is a HIMARS in 1/48 scale. Okay. Let me here pop some of this here. But we will be doing, I don't know if we're going to be streaming Monday. It could be Tuesday. Again, it depends if I can get those ships prepped. And I think it's going to again be the IJN stuff. It's been a long time since I last looked at Coco's Minis to see how he's got the IJN. He's got it divided into two. So he's the British Navy and the Japanese Navy both divided into two. Rivless, definitely. Mr. Clean, I just keep thinking of the 1/72nd stuff, which for the most part, if it was infantry, that was basically the perfect scale for Memoir 44. So Arda Michael, now have you seen? It is 3rd edition, right? A, have you seen what 3rd edition is like? And B, how is it being received? Because, now, after what's happened with MESBG, now there's those claiming that it's going to be released in November. I find that unlikely that they would actually release that prior to the movies. Still got to figure out, well, was it December 13th is when War of the Rohirrim comes out. We have to figure out what we're doing with that. Okay, so yeah, just a very, very out of the loop. Obviously, I think Paul was supposed to kind of come over here, and we were supposed to be doing some bolt action type stuff. It's a kind of a moot point because there would have been nowhere to do that. But we're getting to a place where there would be somewhere to actually do that. Well, Revless, definitely feel free to, mix up your own stuff. Yeah, definitely don't feel trapped and locked into that. Where's my, oh, that's hard to reach. That is hard to reach, but, this was fun, our Chia tank right here. And actually, mostly that's, we made primers. So I took primer, mixed it with ink, and made our tricolor there. Our rust primer, and then our camo green. Well, let's see, Dunkel Grau. No, Dunkel Gelb, sorry, what am I talking about there? I think we had the Steino Res. Oh yeah, Armor Wolf, I still gotta, that's what I forgot to do. It's been bugging me. What is I forgot to do? I wanted to go look on Amazon for that compressor, Armored Wolf. That well, that the cake decorating compressor that I don't know if Ken's ever going to make that. Wherever while you're waiting for it, right, you can get everything ready. And I'm sure it'll be a blast to paint. Everybody, please check out that link that Arta Michael just posted. Hey, Recoil, how you doing? Everybody, please give Recoil13 a follow. Recoil, you want to post some of them buggies and your rangers in the chat? Please go ahead, do that. So Recoil, it was great. It was great to see Mom in the chat last night. Yeah, it was a long stream. I think there was over a 6-hour stream last night. I think I was streaming till after 4 in the morning. I do believe when I finally did get to sleep, I think it was 8:15 this morning. And here I thought 7:30 was getting to be a late bedtime. Yeah, now it's 8. Holy smokies. What are we doing here? More of this over here. Yep. A little more down there. Oh, and by the way, this is not our latest light. We're in mid-tone territory. This is maybe a value 4 on the high side. Everybody, please check out the Insta link that Recoil just shared. And while you're at it, please give Recoil a follow. Now, Recoil, if you had a chance to stream the last week or so, I don't think so. Mostly because, well, I think when you're streaming, it's somewhere in that 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning range for me. And, well, obviously, I'm not even in my exercise phase yet now until 6:30 in the morning. That's fantastic, Recoil. Actually, Recoil, one of the things I want to do after seeing these guys here, I want to see if I can find some other files, just regular birds, blue jay, cardinal, whatever. And what I want to do is I want to paint those up for a Christmas tree, right? To have some birdies on the Christmas tree there, because that's something that Kathy really liked. Now she was more into like the glass birds and stuff. And actually, I did get. Oh, that's right. There's still one more of those I think to open yet. The kind of like I think I got in a glass blue jay for and stuff. But I thought it would be interesting if I could actually print up some blue jays, some cardinals, whatever, and put those on the tree. I'll have to figure out some kind of a clip system there. So Revlis, actually, I think Coco's Minis does also. He does ships of the line. It would sort of be Micronaut scale, I guess. I think he also does 1800 scale sailing ships too. We've been painting ironically 28mm ships on stream. I will try to print out. I'm not going to maybe print out more Corsair ships, but there's going to be other. What is it? Landress. Is it printable terrain? Yeah, printable terrain. They got a bunch of ships. So yeah, Recoil, I was thinking those could be kind of fun, where we do other birds. Well, and it's not like I couldn't use these nests for those too. Now we wouldn't be putting them on a base and then on a tree. I wonder if you can just get like those little clips that you use for putting, say, either lights or whatever on trees, on Christmas trees. I'm going to look and see if there's just the clips. And then we could actually attach the birds to the clips somehow. Because, we could probably paint up a whole flock of those on stream. I mean, of course, we are going to be getting, it's November after all. We're going to be getting into our ornaments again, too. Let's not forget that. Yeah, the rigging, that is the part, Revlist, that's always the interesting part, like those Corsair ships. Well, actually, I think all of the printable terrain ships all have rigging that you gotta do. I still have to do that on those Corsair ships. No idea how I'm gonna do that. There is a YouTube video that they did for rigging, but it's not really the same ship. And they don't actually cover, they cover only the doing the rigging. They don't cover how to do, say, the gaff rig. So Rico, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate that. And Rico, it was another wild Saturday in college football. Yes, indeed. The ranks of the unbeaten called some more. Let me get a little bit more of my lighter. Yeah, there we go. And then ultimately, well, we'll be able to do much lighter stuff. We're also going to do some deeper shadows, so you can see how much more we can hit that with our later stuff there. So recoil, Mr. Clean, we did another air fryer. Now, some of the chickens that the meat crate sends are under 4 pounds, like 3.5 pounds, and those just fit in the air fryer. I mean, like, just fit in there. So that's what we had going on today while we had the games playing and such. I think it takes all of about 40-ish minutes. Can't beat the time. Can't beat the cleanup. So many thanks for the meat crates. In fact, we have to thaw out some more stuff. It's that time again now. Fast mat white. Yeah, I'm just gonna throw that directly into a little more. Fast mat white. See how this is gonna go here. Oh boy, big difference already, and this is still not our lightest light here. Contrary, it's yeah. How light is it? How dark it is? Well, let me see if we can do this with our little magical holders, though. So you got two very different colors on these birdies, right? There we go. We'll set them up there like so. And of course, so once that color goes away, whether it's got some red to it, I mean, now they're almost identical. You will see a little difference, obviously, in the heads, but when it comes to the bodies, right, it is no different at all. Bring this back color-wise here. Almost, there we go, look at that. Substantial difference in the colors between those two. Everybody please check out that Discord link that Zombie Fishers just shared. Now, let me, we haven't done one of these in our film noir in quite some time. Now, watch what happens again here. That lighting effect becomes very minimal. Right? I mean, yeah, okay, there's some. This kind of, actually, if it weren't for that, you would almost lose the lighting effect until the color comes back, in which case, look at that. I mean, even just right here, that's no different than the value over here. It's the coloration there. So again, that is why that's why contrast is more than just light versus dark. Valfira, well, it's probably best that Gandalf doesn't mention chicken nuggets around the birdies here. Oh, and yes, we've got our bald eagle one going here. Because, we haven't done that yet. And of course, well, just like on the gridiron, think long, think wrong. Think less, do more. I mean, like here, when we were doing our experiment on the primer painting, right, where we're mixing up literally fluorescent primer, the face was mostly primer, the robe was mostly primer. I had no idea how that was going to turn out, but if I don't try it, we're never going to know. So sometimes you just got to do stuff, and, well, again, theory hammer doesn't work any better with painting than it does with dice. Sometimes you just got to do it. So yep, Valfira, this is, we're doing the bald eagle one this time. And again, everybody please check out that Discord link that Zombie Fishers just shared. And please give Zombie Fishers a follow too. And thanks again for that raid, Zombie. Appreciate that. Now, Valfira, I got the powder after the stream. But I also got, remember the medium we were talking about, that you were talking about, the Liquitex medium? I have an 8-ounce bottle of that showing up. And obviously the test we're going to run is, can we mix our own? How thin is the modeling, well, not modeling paste, the Liquitex medium? And can we make it thicker by adding the powder? So we've got kind of like a 5, or at least 4 different categories of experiment that I want to do. So as soon as that stuff arrives, which means and I know the perfect thing for it. I think that Smaug, right, Armored Wolf, for all the stupid parts of those wings. Yes, so I'll get that Smaug assembled and a few other things. I'm also going to try and do it on some trees, so I'll try and make a few more of these where the branches attach. So we'll do a grand experiment there. Should be very fascinating. And of course, the Zombie Fishers, we're working with our oils as always, and they work for, well, so many different things, right? Whether it's that large scale fig, whether it's our usual stuff here, our monsters, whether it's things like these busts here, or even again our 1/1700 or 1/1800 scale ships. And again, we've done an entire U.S. Navy. We also started working on our Regia Marina. Of course, we will be doing the Regia Nationale, or the Marina Nationale, sorry. Richelieu, Surcouf, Jean Bart. Again, the British Underwater Navy, we'll get to them. And it's kind of funny, Valfira, I just got some eggs at the store today so that I could make those apple pancakes using that mix that the next door neighbors gave me. That might have to happen tomorrow. I don't know. Getting some of this lightest light there on the ends of the feathers. Oh, and by the way, this is 91 minutes. 91 minutes ago, this was just primer. No paint at all. Valfira, this same outfit also has a blueberry pancake mix. So I'll have to scour the Amazons for that, I guess. Oh, geez, Valfira, I forgot all about that. Even though Mr. Clean has reminded me of the... well, it's not a Thu's day, it's a Thu's hour. We need Thu's week. No, we need Thu's months. Yeah, we don't need Thu's days or Thu's weeks. We need Thu's months. We need to have like a Venus type day. I think a day on Venus is 200 days long or something like that. It rotates pretty darn slow for having such high winds. Yeah, Velfira. Now, the one thing, Velfira, is that they still haven't had cranberries at the store yet. I don't know about you, and your store, but I can't make my branberry mix. Right? We can't have our blueberry cranberry extravaganza if there's no, if we don't have any cranberries. We got the blueberries. All right, thank you so much, Zombie Fishers. Appreciate the raid. Thanks for the follow. Everybody, please, again, give Zombie Fishers a follow if you could. And Zombie Fishers, have a fantastic Sunday. Thanks again for the raid. And, well, hopefully we'll see you on another stream, and maybe we'll have a chance to raid you once. Oh, you actually have the blueberries out there, huh? So Dark Horse, I guess, how many IKEA moments were there with that new area there? Hopefully not too many. We'll also, again, we'll get the lighter stuff on the eggs, like we've got there. We'll get that too. One second here. Let me. Yeah, we'll do the lighter stuff on this side now. Let's do that. Oh, that's even better. Even better, Dark Horse. So Veilfear, I don't know if you tried printing out any. I'm assuming you haven't tried printing out any of that curio cabinet yet. Remember how I was talking about last night? How I hope that I'll be able to just print out the pieces and glue those things together instead of screwing around with all the hardware. Dark Horse, that you can't beat. Well, I suppose you could, but you darn near have to just steal it. That is not a bad price at all, and especially with the no assembly required, right? That's the best of all worlds. That's the other thing I'm going to try and do either after the stream tonight or tomorrow, is to try and assemble at least what I've got printed out so far. I haven't done any of the shelves yet. Obviously, I've been trying to print the notched stuff so that I can put the LED lights in there. Yeah, I figured, Velfair, just like with the painting area there, that's still a no-go zone for now. Yeah, Velfair, you're gonna have to, when you're ready to start printing again, you might need to buy a couple of P1s too to get through the backlog. But again, for me, the P1 funds that went to the, well, not Surface Pro. I think that's what we'll call the iPad, the not Surface Pro. We'll have to definitely start getting some of the lighter stuff on all of our little Twiggies here, for sure. This is not straight up white, by the way. There is still a teensy bit of our Van Dyke brown in there. Could be it's a microscopic amount, but it really does actually make a difference instead of just straight up white. We really avoid straight up white, straight up black, that sort of thing. So Veil Fury, yeah, that Tennessee game that was looking spicy. I think if Kentucky didn't lose about a third of their team to injuries before and during the game, that could have been interesting. And then of course Texas Tech pulls off a big upset there too. Yeah, Velfair was the one of the things was that it was the camera on the iPad versus the Surface Pro. And the Surface Pro, well, cost, right? A comparable Surface Pro would have cost at least 20% more, probably even more than that. You get a little bit of the blue. Oops, okay. Let me try this over here. There we go. So now we're going to get some colors on the eggs here. Now, as I was telling Landras that the case that I got for it, which really works well for a bunch of other purposes, sadly, there's one of those little rubber guards over the on button, which is also the thing that recognizes the fingerprint. So yeah, the fingerprint recognition is kind of ixnay right now. Which, well, I might have to take it out of the case because I'm still in the phase of trying to get apps on there and stuff. Now let me try to go a bit more towards the ice blue here. And on our little eggs. I want to have a bit of spots on these, and these do actually have a teensy bit of texture on them. So yeah, Velfair, I did just a few quick rudimentary photos last night, and I think it really is at least comparable to the phone. And the fact that I can get that app on there to actually basically do Photoshop stuff. Because we're not talking about just, cropping a photo down or rotating it or something like that. We're talking about adding text, layers. You can't do that on your phone. Not to the, and making, thumbnails. This would sort of be, again, like an extension of Photoshop. And then I guess I want to try and get Chrome on this thing so that I can also get XSplit on there so that I can do some, instead of just doing the videos, I could maybe, actually I already have the graphics on there. Let me get some of my, gets a little more of the fast matte white than I was really looking for. We'll roll with that then. The weight is incredible, Valfira. I mean, this iPad, now with the case, it's heavier, but just the raw iPad wasn't all that much heavier than my phone in a case, which I found that rather shocking given the fact that it's 8.5 by 11, or yeah. Alright, so let's leave the eggs alone. Let's start getting to some of these things here, and maybe I'll go a little bit more towards the yellow on those. Let me see what happens with this. Okay, that's got a little more thinner in there than I was thinking. Well, but anything, I'm not sure again, because I don't really see XSplit as being an app, right, that I could just find in the App Store. I mean, it's not totally essential. Yeah, this is the first Apple product that I've had since an Apple IIgs, so we're not super familiar. Ah, there we go. There's some of that light that we're looking for. Not too much of it down inside the nest. The nest again from Asgard Rising. They also have, if you're looking to do some kind of Mirkwood stuff or whatever, they have a tree very similar to this. In fact, I think the branches are the same, but it's got spider webs hung. So instead of a nest here, you would have like a spider web hung from these branches to these branches, and it really looks neat. And that's one of the things I'm hoping to print. It should be interesting getting back into our 1/1800 scale ships again. It's been a while now since I painted some of those. Of course, again, it's going to be time for Christmas ornaments because it's almost Christmas time. Because during the games today, I was hearing Christmas commercials. Yeah, Velfira, they were always very pricey, and that's why I just ended up using their Microsoft counterparts. Again, the Surface Pro, if the price was the same, I would have just gotten another one of those. But I was looking for some savings on weight. Get a little bit more of my light there. So even the nest has a little different coloration to it than our other one. Still so fascinated at what the plastic putty was able to do as far as sculpting this, well, basically bark over here. So it's going to be interesting, Velfira, when that stuff shows up from Dick Blick. And I can do my experiment essentially sculpting with paste, especially with those trees that I take, all of the tree supports. And what I do is I kind of chop those up, use a hot glue gun, glue them together to make, trees. And once you sculpt some bark texture on there, they look just like trees. And they're very, very sturdy, very robust. Dark Horse, again, that's another thing with this iPad. I'm hoping that it lets me maybe do a little bit of work for getting that website ready to go. I'm hoping that will also help facilitate getting some of the work done for making that website. Yeah, Velfira, we were looking at the military grade cases for me, because I don't just drop things. I mean, it's like they're being dropped from 100-foot height. So yeah, Dark Horse, there are some things. Well, like I said, we've got 2 nights of Umbar. Remember I was talking about that last night, and the Medusa Project one. That's rugged. That could survive being shipped. The Navarrete version, I wouldn't even think about shipping that one. And he's actually less fragile than some of the other Navarrete ones. So yeah. Also to the what the heck is it? The Witch King, also Medusa Project that I painted. Well, that was the stream that got bounced. I think you were watching that stream, right, Dark Horse? That's another one that I was going to throw up there because I still have this Witch King, and I still have to do the Navarrete one. So in theory, I would have 3 different Witch Kings. Thanks to old Dark Horse again. That would certainly facilitate getting at least a P1. Again, that's why I was thinking if I can get some stuff, put that out on the website there, because we're not doing eBay, or Feebay, I should say. We're not doing that. Oh, here we go. Let me change all of this a little bit. This is our fantabulous supercharged burnt umber over here. Let me try. Oh, okay. Maybe there's a little more of the yellow than I wanted there. I'm just looking to put a little bit of color into the tree. You know what? Let me use this. I'm using my microfilbert brush there. Dark Horse, that sounds like an idea. That's a burgeoning idea there, Dark Horse. We turn everything from me to we. So it starts with we SBG, but then everything turns into we. Insert name of product here, and then it becomes spectacular for us. That's how we make it all better. So Valfira, remember this is it right here. So it's the reclaimed earth colors, and we did a video on these, and we found that the brown ochre is to burnt umber what the Mars yellow deep is to yellow ochre. So these are like essentially supercharged versions of those 2 colors, because these again, yellow ochre is very wimpy compared to this. Like Mars black compared to lamp black. Or, what's the other one? Ivory black. Yeah. So yeah, Dark Horse. We'll make some fixins. We'll do some fixing, and we'll just change it from instead of me, it's all going to be we. And whatever we designate, we look around, we say, that needs a little more we. And no, that's not something that's going to need an adult diaper or something like that. That's we're looking to make things a bit more favorable for us. Okay, I'm going to get me a little bit more of that yellow here. What's a bit more light? We'll try some of this. And some of that. Let's see what happens. Well, there's lots of texture here on this tree. Lots of texture on this tree. That's very very gnarly. So I'm gonna try and print up those trees with the spider webs. Again, I tried doing those on the FDM style printer. I mean, they were okay until I tried to remove the supports, and then all the spider web stuff was breaking. So yeah, it just what's nice is you can print out some parts of these separately, like the trunk you could print out, I think, in FDM, and then maybe I think the branches or the top half with the spider web you can print that on the resin printer. I'm also going to have to get some of my greens in there. That would be our perline black mixed with, well, whatever to lighten it up. And perline black is not black. That's our very dark green. Okay. A lot of this is going to have the snow on it, though, I think. So I don't want to, do too much lighter stuff down there. Where is that? Let me do this. And some of that here. Down into here. Also there. Perline black. Do we have? Yes, we do. Perline black. Maybe some of the radiant green. Fine. Let's see what we got here. So Velfair, I'm going with the darker beak on there, just to have a little bit of some contrasty there. And I think they have the dark legs, but well, I still got the actually Velfair. Here's the tail feathers down there. Yeah, so we can hit those. Yeah, we'll definitely make those lighter. We kind of did it on the other one too. But yeah, the tail feathers, I can make those later. I keep that's where I have to stick my hand there, Velfair, so I can't, I don't want to keep adding some paint there where I'm just going to subtract it with, look at this. Yeah, I'll just subtract it with that. Now, Velfair, I think, oh, is that over here? It was it's one of those Gates of Antares speeders or something like that, and we did an eagle face on there. Actually, Velfair, I think you've seen that watercolor I did of the eagle, and yeah, I would always well, let's put it this way, Velfair, that eagle beak definitely got some Indian yellow. Hit the green over there. We go. So now we got a little variety in there. We can't have all this huge area here and just, oh, well, the same shade of brown and such. So we've got some reds in there, some greens. And this is a dark middle tone at best here. A dark middle tone at the very, I mean, maybe go a little lighter with this, but not too much. Maybe a touch of that up here. Maybe over here where that little knot is, right there. Maybe a little more of our lighter gray up in there too. Greenish gray. That's what that perline black is really fantastic for, doing that kind of greenish gray there. Velfir, the other thing, I still have to find some reference pictures. I just don't remember what the heck it was called, but basically the African eagle, which is, I think it's mostly white with black markings. I could be wrong about, because it's been years since I last have seen that. Let me steal. I'll use this. I'm going to use a little bit of the ice blue with my green here. Yeah, so that it's not just lighter there, but now it's got that little hint of greenish gray to it. This bottom branch a little more. Now these two little branches down here, those are from Make It Epic basing. I'm trying to think the last time I actually had the resin printers going. It's been at least a week and a half, which is 10 days longer than usual. Because, yes, they are usually running 24 hours a day every single day. That's a little bit shocking. I'm going to throw a little bit more of this light over here, and maybe even on this branch over here. It's mostly just a dry brush going on there. Let me see, are we at 2 hours? We're just about at 2 hours here. So 2 hours ago, there was absolutely no paint on this whatsoever. The Weeping Angel says, right, don't blink for a reason. Boy, the texture, the bark texture on these branches out here, that's some seriously heavy texture. Now, Velfir, I'm always trying to get as much grayish tone in there as possible, because I guess maybe spent too much time camping, right, Velfira, and seeing just too many trees and, a lot of stuff, the deadwood laying on the ground, and it's always just more gray than brown, but we still try to get a little bit of the warmer tones in there. Maybe a little bit of yellow. I can't wait to actually get some paint on those ones, the ones that I made out of the tree spruce, or the tree supports. Because what I want to do is get some paint on those and do one version that's kind of a winter, and then another that's maybe some fall foliage, and then another set that's more your regular stuff. Although I think I need to get that seafoam stuff. I need to get more of this. Of course, the fine foliage from whatchamacallit, Woodland Scenics, is basically that stuff. I mean, effectively, the one process that I do, we're just making that. That is literally what we're doing. Now this should be interesting here. That's really going to be that's quite a bright green that we're going to be doing here. Just in a couple of spots again on this tree here to make it look a little more interesting. Some of these sticks here. Geez, Vofer, I have to find that wicker man that I was talking about last night, because I mean, it's been a whole 3-4 days since we last did object source lighting on the channel, Velfer, it's almost like we've lost our identity here or something. I'm going to go even lighter with that over here on this one branch here. And then we got to go back to our almost more of a reddish orange light tone. Let me grab some of this. No, not that. Oh, we still have to finish off the eyes on this guy. I haven't even done those yet. We'll have to get to those. Oh boy, Sectrix, well, you just reminded me. That's the other thing I have to get. Speaking of testing and stuff like that. So Sectrix, it doesn't matter, you know, like, okay, if you do this one type of surface, it's going to work, and all other surfaces, not at all. If it does, that would be fantastic. Yeah, Velfira, it's, I knew this was kind of a large tree, right, with lots of stuff going on. Now that I'm painting it, I'm like, there's a lot of complex facets going here. I guess because, shall we say, I was barking a little bit about all of the supports that were all over the place on this thing. But now that I see how much complexity there is in the shape of it, yeah, now I kind of understand why there was. Now that's good, Sectrix. I'm just gonna... Yet another thing we'll have to try to remember to do after the stream is get some of that stuff so that's on its way here. Again, just doing a bit of a dry brush right there. I'm trying to think, aside from the river, the frozen river project that I want to do, I'm trying to think of other things that could be just perfect for that, but I have so many rivers. We want to do, of course, a frozen river for our Lothlorien board. I don't know for just land-based stuff how well that would work. I think, yeah, there's no shadow over that, so we're good doing that. Now this is fairly light here for sure. Speaking of which, we get also a little bit more of our orangey stuff. Let's start to lighten these up a little bit. Haven't done anything with his feet yet. That's mostly just our darker glazes that are down in there for right now. There's not a whole lot you can see. Oh, good. I think I can actually... Wow, I could really... There's more of the bottom of his foot that I can get at than I thought. I did not think there was quite so much of that. You just bear with me. I'm just trying to get my brush stuck down in there. I'm also battling with the magnifier light, which is getting in the way. Not yet, Velfir. I've got rivers printed out from our imprintable terrain. I've got rivers printed out from Conquest Creations. I think I have rivers printed out from not, it's not Dark Realms. I don't think it's from printable scenery, but yeah, I've got several different rivers printed out, and I want to do some terrain vids on those. Some of the lighter orangey stuff. Oh, I'll get to some of our lighter yellow there. Now that one talon there, we'll go back and we'll add the really dark stuff to that in a little bit. Now the other thing I wanted to try, Velfera, was I don't think it's going to work with plexiglass, but I was hoping if I could find some kind of, what is it, it's almost like plexiglass. It's very thin. It's got texture on one side and not on the other side. And I was thinking if I could break that up somehow or cut it into pieces, it would look a little bit like ice flows. So that was another thing I was hoping to do on rivers or even like small ponds or something. That was another thing. I wonder if I could do something like that. So again, Sectorix, thanks for the heads up on the oh, that's the AK Interactive stuff. It's nice that it works better than the oh, what are they, the Uptiling paints. And now, oh, that's right, still gotta look for that compressor. I can't imagine that's not already out there on Amazon somewhere. Okay, more different colors in there. We got the greens, we got the oranges, we got all this stuff. Now I'm going to take my Mars Black. We will mix that actually with our Indanthrene Blue of all things. Well, that's really good news there, Sectorix. Where are we going to place this eye? I think the pupil goes right here. Yep, yeah, that's okay. Now this one I think is going to be easier to reach. And we'll still have to do our little the lighter dot in the eye, of course. Yeah, sector almost. Oh yeah, and the fact that it doesn't destroy your brush or whatever. Oh, the spider serum. Yeah, that was one of the more disastrous products right there. Let me go back to my Van Dyke Brown here to get some shadows, mostly on these feathers. These up here are pretty good, but we need some sharper edges on some of these feathers down here. Just like that. Yeah, Sectorix, the spider serum, once that gets in your airbrush, it's not coming out of there. Not without a fight, that's for sure. But yeah, you've seen the collection of craft brushes, right? That well, We then use them for painting after they've gotten beat up with super glue, our homemade texture paste, which is tile grout and wood glue. Okay, and just a little bit of the Van Dyke brown now in a couple of these really strong shadow areas that we're looking to do there. Down here on these bottom feathers, more resolution. There's a bit of more thinner on there than I really want. So I'm going to go into a more of an open area, kind of deposit some of that over there. Get some of that out of the brush. You know what? That little knot in there, we're going to make that darker. Back over here, now that I see some of that dark, there might be a couple little spots. Over here. Yes, that's it. Not so much of a pin line wash, maybe a partial pin line wash there. Yeah, okay. Back down to here. Up in there. The eggs, we'll try to get a little bit of lighter stuff going on there. Maybe even on our eagle's, yeah, on his head. Let me get some of this dark stuff out of the brush first. So Valfair, yeah, we did a little bit of a film noir there, and you could really see the difference in with the reddish birdie and the much cooler grayer color on this one. Let's start to get some lighter stuff on this brush here, and I'm just gonna keep using that one stick right there as a balancing point. Trying to get the bottom area on this beak. Let me see if we can do this again. There's too much thinner on that. Work some of that off of that brush. Maybe now that's going to work. Yeah. There we are. There's a tiny bit of our kind of tan color into this, so it's not 100% straight up white. Wow, I can get lighter up here than I was thinking. So again, you can see I'm just setting my hand on there, so we're not going to be even messing around with that. So basically, the last few brush strokes on this figure here. We have a little, there is some bluish tint also on this eagle right here. Now that little lighter dot on his eye, we'll try and do that there. Okay, that one worked. See if we can do the same thing over here. Nope, that takes out too much of the dark. So we will try that one again. No big deal. Not a problem. We'll just get our dark here. Take away that lighter. You know what? Actually, I want to put some of my lighter yellow on his eye. Well, I mean, while we're doing this, I'll just get some of that orange back, and maybe a little bit of my some of the opaque white into that. Let me see if we can get this lighter down here too. That's okay. There we are. I might do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do some more of that over here too. Hey, Denethor, how you doing? Happy Sunday. So, Denethor, if you want to share anything in the chat, please go ahead. And of course, everybody, please give Denethor a follow, because Denethor is going to be streaming. Yeah, Belfry, is that the kind where, again, one side kind of has the water texture on it, and then the other side is pretty much flat? I know there's a certain, I guess, window glass or something that also, or plexiglass design that way, probably for bathroom windows, I guess. So, Denethor, if you want to share your link in the chat of your fabulous sculpted stuff, please go ahead and do that. And again, it's great to see you there, Denethor. We have another one of our eagles that we're painting here. Now, the other thing that I was also gonna see if it's possible to squeeze in our hobbit terrain. We haven't forgotten about that. I do have to locate all of the hobbit furniture that goes in there. Thanks, Velfir. Yeah, Michigan Toy Soldier. They got a lot of stuff. I'm pretty sure that Michigan Toy Soldier was at Little Wars, right, Valfira? They must have been at Little Wars back in April. Is this lighter? Yeah, it is. This is the stuff that I did with the plastic putty. It's the Vallejo stuff. Here. Okay, we just have this little weird pool of green in there. We gotta get something like this, where there is a bit of shape or something. And we'll try again. There we are. That's where I'm just sort of painting in the texture that maybe is really not actually there. Didn't want to go too light on that. Again, the bird's sitting right on top. Well, speaking of which, here, speaking of tail feathers, because those are the wings there. Now we can get to the tail feathers here. And even that is not white there. Underside of the wings here. Such as it is. No, no, that would be too. Let me get back to some of the yellow, Mars yellow deep there. A little something on that twig right there. I will try to hit some of the feathers up here, though. Some more down there. Okay. Yeah, that one little feather right there, or that little right around his eye, that's very helpful. I wonder. I'm gonna zoom in one. Okay, so maybe we can see our see our guy a little bit better there. Well, past the tree anyway. Okay, there's a ton of our light tone in there. A couple more little lighter spots on our eggs. I might make some of these twigs a little lighter in a few places here. So yeah, action surge. Speaking of Do Amroth, right? Too bad there's no Do Amroth, no Prince Imrahil. Because, well, he's the one that saves Faramir. And it's actually him that kind of fights off the Witch King. They gave a whole bunch of stuff to Gandalf that was actually Prince Imrahil. And, yeah, printing out that entire Dol Amroth port city, that took weeks to print that thing out. And we've also got 3D printed ships to go along with it. I would like to take one of those and paint one of those up on one of our Armada Mondays. Oh yeah, now I think we got the nest looking about where we want. So let's start doing some of our light stuff up here, because again, I think it's less likely for me to be sticking my fingers on that. And we've done a whole bunch of different fiefdom stuff. We did Dol Amroth. We did the Clansmen of Lamadon. The X-Men of Lostnark. I think we did multiple versions of Forlong the Fat. What there. I actually do have some more Clansmen of Lamadon printed out. I wanted to do a supplementing your armies, where we would be doing some tartans. Okay, touch more of my lighter stuff right there. On the underside of this branch, we'll try some of this. And it's almost like we're doing a little mini dry brush right there. So this is it's a liner brush, but if we set it on its side like this, as opposed to like that, it's a whole different brush. So action surge, we have an entire Lothlorien board printed out, only we're going to winterize it, right, like we did our, again, we have Dark Queen Schmaladriel and, of course, our fabulous Lothlorien color scheme. So yeah, I can only imagine how satisfying that must have felt. Here, great to have you back again. Let me get my... Yeah, I think we can maybe do a little bit of this lighter grayish green here. Where's my... A little more of the light added to that. Like this. I might need to have a little thinner in there to break it down just slightly. And I think we even cut off some of the roots back here. But yeah, this is balanced for folks that are thinking, like, wow, this tree sticks way out over here. But keep in mind, that's just some thin branches, whereas that's a solid piece of resin over there, and then we have other branches out here, and this. And remember, there's also going to be the snow effects that we'll add. That's going to also do its own little counterweight thing. And all the magnets are going to be on that side too. So you'll even have the weight of the magnets contributing to the counterbalance.